that was interesting. Because for some reason I've been, well, just with everything going on in my life, I've been very disconnected from my spiritual side a lot of the time. Not in a bad way. It's almost like, it's interesting. So I'll read the card that I pulled for us. It was about retreat. So it's almost like I've had to take a retreat for a little while and just refuel, because I've really just have been burning the candles at way too many places. And that's the way I've ran my whole life. So it's about basically changing the way I am in the world, and the way I move in the world. And so that's challenging, scary. I did a session about it the other day, because for me, it's my worth is valued in what I do rather than who I am or me even being. If there's not a productivity sheet that says I got X, Y, and Z done today, I feel as though I wasted a day. So, and that just goes back to so many programmings from childhood and from learning my worth. Stories that I'm sharing with people, I've had to really pay attention to, because I'm realizing where my unworthy pieces are coming from and where they stem from in this lifetime. I'm absolutely 100% sure they're from many lifetimes and they're ancestral, but like where they were triggered or reactivated for me in this world, especially my weight ones, but feeling worthy or feeling like how I always knock myself about my education or about my childhood, about where I came from. What I started to realize is that came from my father's family, because literally my aunts would treat me like I was trash because I hung in a corner with my other family. And yes, I was doing drugs at that time, and yes, but I wasn't a piece of shit or a whore, which is kind of how they made me feel. So that constant barrage, and it coming from people who are supposed to be your family, your aunts, your uncles, your grandma, your relatives, and about my mom always being less than for being for her family, for being a prune. So there's all these things that have come to light of why that can get triggered, because that was as a child, so that's like constantly put in. And then the piece about always have to be perfection or always have to be in motion, definitely comes from my dad. Like, not, it was a double-edged sword of always doing your best and always putting, giving it your all. And like on some levels, that's what got me out of the streets. Like that's what turned my life around. But on the other hand, it's where I hold everyone else and myself at a really, words elude me anyway these days. But not expectation. It's an unrealistic expectation or standard that no one can keep all the time. But I hold myself to that, and I hold everyone around me to that, and not because I want to judge them. It's what I do to myself. As we always say, that the reflection or the judgment that's in you or that comes up about someone else is a mirror back to you. So I did do some work on that this week, and I continue to. And so what I really loved about that reading was, because I've been disconnected, I really didn't understand the Ring of Fire, and I wouldn't have woke up anyway. And I think it was kind of cloudy here, so I don't know that I would have seen it, but I actually did see some really cool pictures from the Jersey Shore, so obviously it was clear somewhere. but I have been going through a shaman's death. So even without understanding it, realizing that my session was Wednesday, which was a lot about death, and directly connected to death of someone else's death. And then for me doing the session, it's me rising above that, me upgrading my system, me lightening my system, me activating my light. And I can't say that it's been smooth, or that, I mean, it's only been 2 days and I really haven't worked with it. So I'll give myself some credit, but there still is a part of me that is really having a challenge of what's my next step? Who am I? What am I supposed to be? Is this it? You know, nights like tonight when there's only us together on Zoom and Ashley's here and this is it. It's like, so maybe ceremony is not my gig. Like, you know, no one's even coming. So what am I doing it for? And I understand for us, but then, you know, here it's the collective. Like they don't have to be sitting here. It's still the collective prayer, and sometimes having it short and sweet can make it more potent with a smaller group. So, but that's what my ego goes into. You know, no one wants to come. So I'm not saying that you guys are no one, but it's just, you know, we could do this without doing a sermon. Do you know what I mean? Like we could hold our Monday night group without having, like, you know, I was going to be going to solutions and carrying everything there and loading it up. And it was like, well, that's ridiculous. We could just meet. Like, so it's interesting, my process and where I have been. And so that's why I wanted to read that card, because I thought it's very interesting about this shaman's death, about the phoenix, and how right now, you know, what happened to you guys today, where I've still been with COVID and everything. We're in this place of everything being shaken up. I actually had a dream the other night where I don't remember exactly, but there was a bear outside, and I didn't want to have food out like anywhere because I was afraid, because then the bear was going to come. And so working with the bear and sitting there and being like, but I like bear. Like I like bear medicine. To me, that's about the teacher. So it's like, okay, but why am I afraid it's going to come eat me? Like, or to kill me or maim me? But also the house that I was in, and it was the chimney of the house, but it kept shaking to the point where my ground was unsteady. Like where I had no solid footing, and everything kept, and I can't remember the specifics of the dream, but I know that there was fear in it and this place of being in survival. But what's interesting, so that interests me about that card, about saying that when we're not going in the flow with that change, that everything will start to shake and rattle and wrestle us up, so that what needs to come to the surface can. So it's very, very interesting times. And as always, I'm just so grateful for our support system and for us that have helped us get through, you know, the last year, and keep each other sane and keep each other really doing some deep, good work that went out there into the collective. Even while we may have not been feeling it or been hitting our own lows, we still found ways to rise up and to put that light out there, to project that part of ourselves. And so to me, tonight is another call to that. You know, we are at this place, you know, the eclipse is about, you know, how do we work with that shadow? How do we own those shadow pieces? How do we bring those shadow pieces into light so that they are not like working in the behind the scenes, you know, so that we bring awareness so that we can consciously work either through acceptance, through love, through understanding, through forgiveness with those parts of ourselves that we've denied, that we have not allowed to bring into the fold and to love because we've seen them as less than. We've seen them as a weakness. We've seen them as parts of ourselves that no one else could love. So then how could we, you know, we can't even love it, so no one else can. So we hide those aspects of ourselves from the rest of the world, and then which makes us not be whole, you know. How do we bring ourselves back to that place of wholeness? So then that shadow lifts up and we get them precious gifts in the shadow that are held in that dark place in the void of creation. You know, just waiting there for us to acknowledge it and to bring it into the fold and to love it and to say, you know, I see you and it's good. You know, I see you and you're still lovable. You know, I see you and there's nothing more to fear. Because for me, between COVID and the shadow pieces that have come up have all been about unsafety, and I'm sure that's part of why the huge weight gain for me. But a lot of it has been about just feeling unsafe, like not feeling safe in the world. The world's very seems, you put on the news, you do anything, everything seems unsafe. And so, like even today, like yesterday, I had all these people tell me these stats of how COVID numbers are down. And then I opened up something on, it was like, you know, opened up my phone where it has, you know, that thing of like news things. So it's saying the new variant coming to the US could be even deadlier. Like that's even more, and it could be deadlier than, I'm like, oh my God. Like, so one day they're telling you, you know, oh, it's cool. And then the next day, oh my God, but there's not enough fear out there. So how do we work with that? You know what I mean? Like, how do we be in this world, but not of it? Like, how do we walk in this 3D dimension and affect change from the highest level without being pulled down to the deepest muck? You know, to me, that's the hardest spiritual challenge right now, is how can you, because yeah, there's ways that we can check out and not be in this world, like, you know, but that's not going to help anchor in the light. Like, unless we're firmly planted here, we can't bring that essence of ourselves through and out. If we're always reaching to be gone, which, trust me, I've tried to be gone a lot lately. So I'm just speaking from experience of wanting to escape my mind, my thoughts, my physicality. But that does not help. That does not make me be the warrior of light I want to be. To be the warrior of peace that I want to be, is if I'm spending more time outside of myself than inside myself. So for me, part of the ceremony I want to work with tonight is, how do I be able to rise up like the phoenix? How do I be able to wrestle off those pieces that still block me from doing that? That still deny me from my inherent right to be love, to be peace. That's what we're here to be, and anything else is illusion. But some of us, and maybe not all of us, there may be people out there that are beyond it, and I'm grateful for them, because they're holding the light at an even stronger pace. I'm not there yet. And that's my other snoofa that I get into, is that if I can't attain that, how can I teach, or how can I perform ceremony? If I can't maintain that. And then I hear, because I'm real. I don't have to know it all. I don't have to be it all. The fact that I just even try to strive and help people that may be exactly in the same place I am, but just to be able to open space for people to make prayer. Because to me, ceremony, as I've always said, ceremony to me is what has saved my life. And that's why if anything, with the energies I work with, I feel very comfortable being able to bring ceremony forward, because I know that it's not me. But I know that I have learned enough through the discipline of the ceremonies that I've been in, how to step out of my way to allow that energy to come through, and have died off enough pieces of my ego that would have prevented that. So I guess that's who I am. I've been having challenges with that question of who I am, you know. So I'll share with you. I was reading something on a Facebook page of a shamanic group, and I've reread it to see if I read it in a bad way, because it really charged me. But when I reread it, I guess I kind of got it a little deeper, a little more, although I still don't completely agree with it. But a woman asked in this group, you know, how do you know if you're a shaman? Like, what is a shaman? And there were all these different answers. And then this one woman put a whole thing, and you could tell she was very schooled and worked with, she may have been indigenous. I really couldn't tell. Worked with the Norse shamanic, and going on and on. But then at one point she was saying, you know, basically that no one really calls himself a shaman, and you're called to it through almost dying and all the pieces, but really no one calls themselves a shaman. If you're a true shaman, like, you just don't, which I have a hard time saying that I am a shaman. But she went on to say that people that have mental illness really shouldn't be a shaman. And that challenged me, because I was like, hey, upon rereading it, what she was saying is people that have severe personality disorders, just because it's very hard for them to disassociate. Like, but when I first read it, what I heard was anyone that had mental illness should not even consider, and that really triggered me as someone who has dealt with severe depression my entire life, and really got charged by that. But when I reread it, I guess I understood it to a level. But so, like, that was my week, was reading that, and that confirming in reading that I shouldn't be doing this, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I found something to confirm why I shouldn't even consider myself a shaman. And part of it was by reading it wrong. Because one of the, but I can say that I think a lot of people read it wrong, because the woman who was in charge of this page, the administrator, I know has dealt with addiction and depression. So she had kind of put in there, like, you know, as someone who has, so it was very interesting. I don't know why I'm sharing that story, but I am. Maybe for me to remember, but I gotta let that go tonight. But it also was about, because I was reading something, and I'd already thought this a while back, that if you really want to justify something, you can find it for either argument of any coin. Like, you know, you Google long enough, or you search long enough, you will find a way to either be justified or be vindicated, like, not vindicated, but condemned, like, whatever that word is. I can't get it right now. But at any time, because that's the duality. Like, we live in duality, and everyone's truth is different. So So I've been just trying to figure out why I came into a dualistic world, just throwing it out there to everyone. I just want to know why I picked Earth at this time. And I do want to also make a prayer, 2 prayers, actually. She's not a close friend of mine, but I'm in a prayer group with a group of girls that I grew up with. And her dad passed today. He was on hospice for like, I think the last 5 days, so home with his family. And she just kept reaching out for more prayers because she had never done that, sat with someone in hospice that passed. So just want to put it out there to the Madden family, and for her dad's peaceful journey home. And you'd heard Wade and I talk about all Wade's sun dances and where we would go for him to do sun dances, which was on the Rosebud Reservation with Uncle Leonard Curdog, from Curdog Paradise. Uncle Leonard passed away this week. So, and when I was calling in the energies, he showed up. So I'm sure he'll come through at one point, because I made a prayer to Uncle Leonard to come, because as I was making my prayers and closing my eyes to see who wants to be here and to hold space, he was one of the elders or ancestors that came through. So, so his energy will be here. And to the people that we dance with that have their own dance now at Thunder's Ranch, they just completed, like John and Kate, they just completed Sundance this week. So Uncle died, I believe, on the day of completion or the day after they completed their dance. So to me, that's all symbolic.
Would it be okay? You've probably heard of it in the residential school, well, all the schools, but the mass grave of the 215 children.
Yes.
That's really been affecting me.
The Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
the Indigenous.
Yeah.
So yes. Yes, so we'll hold the energy, hold healing energy. Maybe at the end of ceremony, we'll do honorable closure and see them all, like how Sandra Ingerman does it, in a circle, and we'll see see them in their light and their love and being lifted. So we'll do that at the end. And honey, is that you on iPhone? Just checking.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm always afraid the dog's going to bark.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to connect it and know who it was.
Okay.
So, okay, enough talking. We'll see where we go. I'll read to you the card, and then I guess we'll put on, and then the goddess that came to be with us. But the card is retreat. When I asked for, so it said, are you feeling world weary and physically fatigued? No matter how long you rest night after night, are you still completely worn out? In what part of your life do you repeatedly say, I'm so tired of this, and mean it? This psychic exhaustion is the direct result of overtaxing your body and brain and not connecting enough with your higher self as you struggle against the world of drama. Your soul's purpose right now is to step away from the dissonant drain of the unconscious world and retreat into silence and meditation in order to stay connected with your higher self. Your soul's lesson is to combat your ego's desire to seduce you away from quietly linking to your divinity, and instead try to keep you entrenched in the muck. Detach yourself from the psychic pollution of the world and quietly retreat with your spirit. Ask yourself how much time you're willing to invest in this, and pay keen attention to your response. It reveals the degree to which you're committed to heal. The more quiet time you spend, the more energy you'll regain. And I ask this goddess's forgiveness if I say her name wrong. Freya, and Nordic earth goddess of fertility and celebration and passion. So it says, unleash your adventurous side and take risks and be daring. The message from her is, don't play it safe right now. Instead, take bold action in the direction of your true heart's desire. Success comes not from timidity, but from committing yourself fully to realizing your dream. Hold the clear intention of success and it shall come about. Enjoy the excitement of taking risks, of being bold, and of being daring. And be sure to celebrate your success with a party or by splurging on a wonderful indulgence. Various meanings could be: take a risk, make a bold life change, appreciate your body, flirt, go have fun and celebrate. Who, me? I know. Rhea is my, what do they always say? My spirit animal. Alrighty, so let's open directions and see where this ceremony goes, because I have no idea. See where we head. So as it is out, we touch your mama breaks over. Come and wrap your cool light around us. Help us shed our past the way you shed your skin. Help us to step out of that place of suffering and step into that place of impeccability. Help us to learn how to lay belly to belly with the mother. And thank you for any and all healing that will occur on the physical level. Oh. To the winds of the west, Datarango, Mother Jaguar, thank you for protecting our medicine space. Oh, thank you for teaching us how to go over that rainbow bridge, how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for teaching us how to live fearless. Thank you for showing us that way of being a peaceful, luminous warrior, so that we can learn how to walk on this planet yet not leave a footprint. Oh, and any healing that will occur on that emotional level. To the ones of the north, to Suda Kinte, Great Hummingbird, grandmother, grandfather, and ancient ones, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of mythic and of magic and of imagery. Thank you for this place of stillness of life. Thank you for teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm, but more importantly, continue to teach us how to drink directly from the sweet nectar of life, so that we can learn sorry. Just help us. Oh. To the winds of the east, for an eagle, conqueror, Aquachine, you will fly wing to wing with great mystery. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking us to the mountains that we only dare to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip. God, help us to see with the eagle vision. Help us to see the limitless possibilities of our world all the time, so that we once and for all step out of that place of being faded and into that place of destiny. Oh. Hi, Mama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the coy, the fin, the furs, and winged. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being the true alchemist, taking that which no longer serves, bring it back to us in the midst of gold. Thank you for reaching out and reaching up to us. Thank you for this place of the void. Thank you for this place of being able to settle into that place of nourishment, of nurturing, of home, that place of being mothered. Thank you. Inti Tai Tai, Mama Key, Star Nations. You are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of being in ceremony. Thank you for the hearts and minds and soul of everyone in the circle and anyone that will watch this in the future. Please hold us. Please whisper in our ear and touch our hearts. Help us to open up our hearts. Help us to open up our minds. To be able to hear the higher self. To be able to feel that connection to the great mystery, to Creator, the source, to Goddess. Allow us to be that hollow bone tonight. Allow us to see those places that are so ready to rise up from the ashes. Help us to discern that which is ready and then shadow and ready to be let go of tonight in this purely opportunistic time, this place, this alchemical vessel which you've created. Help us to be here in our highest good and the highest good of all. Okay. Let's get connected. Mother. Let's just do those cleansing breaths in, releasing breaths out. Or when we draw in, let's do that breath that resets our nervous system so that we are in here in a way that we are not in fight or flight, that we are fully in our bodies. So do the 3 breaths in, hold for a second, and then either 5 to 7 minute exhales out, full exhales out. So let's begin. Inhale for 3. Hold and release. Count of 5. As you release, letting go of anything that's holding tension in your body, anything that has you triggered. And let's do it for 5 more times, in either 5 or 7 count out. And take a moment to notice how you feel lighter, how you're holding less energy in your body, less tension, less mind chatter. And from this space of deep calm, let's see it roots growing down either from our feet or from our chakra, root chakra, going down to the belly of the mother, past the bedrock. Until we hit the molten core. And feel those roots dipping down into that lava-like essence of the mother. And see that coming up through the roots, warming them, creating this glow. This phoenix beginning to rise within us. Going up to your root chakra, expanding and awakening you. Up to your second chakra, filling that cavern with this electric light, this electric energy of the mother. Coming up to your solar plexus. Place of personal power, and then up to your heart. Oh, and see it blow opening your heart, like almost like a volcano, gushing this energy, erupting it. Beginning to stir our heart's desires. Burning away any unclarity, any fear, any blocks, so that at a later point tonight we can tap into that heart. Coming up to our throat, up to our third eye, and up to our crown. And feel that place of the Divine Mother. Feel how she has electrified you. And see and feel that imprint of the phoenix in your field. That phoenix that is mulching right now, absorbing energies that she will pull with her when she rises up. And from the crown of her head, see a coil of light going up to the Apus, to the heavens, the Father's sky, to that place of the divine masculine. Place of the masters. The place of action, of right action. Not action over, but action with and for. That place that will bring safety so that the feminine can create in a safe environment. So pull down that energy. See it coming in through your crown, commingling with the feminine down to your third eye. And see your inner sight expand. See how your peripheral vision gets even stronger, how you can see everything. You can almost see behind you, and you might be able to. Coming down to your throat. So that your words can become softer. That your words can become higher vibration. No more gossiping. No more self-talk that is not in your highest good. And come down to your heart. Down to your solar plexus. Down to your second. and down to your root. Feel how in just doing that, your body feels different. Your mind feels different. This simple thing every day, this simple practice is so powerful. And assists us in being that conduit between heaven and earth. And we call on all the energies we called on early. And we call on Freya. And I'm hearing Isis and Michael. And the sacred mountains, and the star brothers and sisters, and the fairies, the divas, the hidden folk. The four elements, the earth, the air, the wind, the fire. Calling on the beauty of spring that is awakening and showing us how we can awaken those pieces of us as no matter how dormant or long they've been there. No matter how dead the branch may have looked, there can be new sprouts, new life. You feel that energy starting to rock your body. And at this time, call in any ancestors, ancient ones, descendants, power animals, goddesses, that you wish to bring with you on this journey. We are going to journey to the ring of fire, to the eclipse. Knowing that we are protected, let us put on our glasses right now so that we can look in to that ring of fire and be safe. Knowing that whatever reflects back to us is in our highest good. It's the shadow pieces that are ready to be released, to be loved, to be nurtured, to be forgiven, to be brought into the light. And Mother Mary just showed up also to hold that place of the Divine Mother for us. So pull in your helping spirits. You could get comfortable, however that is. And remember to put on your protective eyewear. And we will begin our journey. So in front of you, you see a path. A path that leads you to the ocean. Feel your feet in the sand. It's just before sunrise. Hear the water gently lapping in the background. If you want, you can place your feet in it. Just feel it gently cleansing you, grounding you. See the sun starting to rise on the horizon in front of you, on the water. Bright and fiery and red. And then see the moon. See her begin to eclipse the sun. And then see that bright light around it. Fire. Of illumination. Beginning to dissipate any dense, heavy energy that lives in you. Either in your cells, your organs, your mental body, your physical body, soul body. Woo! See any cords that are attached to you, beginning to disintegrate in this light. And allow it to allow this light to illuminate to the deepest core of you, pieces of you that you've not shown to anyone, especially yourself. Pieces of you that are dying to come forward, that are so wanting to be acknowledged, that holds such tremendous power for you. Let this eclipse illuminate them, and know there's nothing to fear, as you are protected by so much more than you could ever imagine. So I will drum softly while you do this work, just allowing those pieces to be brought up and into the light. Now that those pieces are up, and you've acknowledged them, you've forgiven those pieces, you've loved those pieces, you've acknowledged them, they begin to dissipate. And place them into the water, to the ocean, where you are. You could see them as petals, like our rose petals here. However you want to see it, like seaweed, like shells. Just see them. Being released from your body with love, with forgiveness, with acknowledgement. And they're actually asking us to actually start to walk into the water. To replicate being cleansed by the mesa and see that water washing over us, through us, around us. Feel the purification, the rebirth beginning. And as you're being washed over by the waters, Start to see the gifts. Tap into your heart. What were the gifts that were hidden in that deep shadow? What heart's desires did it ignite and awaken? What beauty, what journeys, what gifts do you have to bring up and bring forth? Feel that expansion in your heart. Feel it lighting up, becoming so powerful. Acknowledge the beauty and the light that is you. As in the reading we done in the beginning, start to see your path, your journey become clearer. Not needing to know what the final outcome is, but just see the path. Just knowing it's there. Leading us to our soul's desires. And just as the phoenix rises, see that light within you. The light of who you are. The light of love. Your soul light beginning to rise up. Rising up. Rise up. No more hiding. No more staying in the darkness. Rise up and be seen. Rise up and be accounted for. And know I am that I am. And feel that in every cell of your being. Be seen. Be loved. Show love. And make your way out of the water, out of the ocean, onto the beach. And see us all in a circle. And see your ancestors, your ancient ones, your guides, your goddess, power animals. All of them with us. But one specifically comes walking towards you. And it's holding. Could be a crystal, could be a flower, some form of a gift. A gift that holds symbolism for you. And once you have your gift, I invite you to lay down on the beach. Or sit there, and I will drum gently and do a journey with this gift to see what does it hold. What is the key? Asking the new moon's help above you. This place of new beginnings. This place of great power. This place of the void. This place of knowing that everything is possible. And start to wrap up where you are, knowing that you can come back at any time with the new moon, with your gift, with your guide, your ancestor, your ancient one, whoever gave it to you, and gain more understanding and clarity. And we thank our gifts, we thank our guides for giving us this blessing, for giving us this ceremony, for bringing us awareness. And we will take this time to come together in circle. We will do what Sandra Ingerman has taught me as honorable closure, where we tap in and we ignite the light that lives within us. And then call in all the spirits that are ready to go up into the light with this specific focus of those young children in Canada, those Indigenous young children, brothers and sisters. whose lives were not honored in this life, in this dimension. But let's see them in their light. Let's see them in their healed highest state, so that they are no longer bound to that story. And that whatever their sacrifice was for can be illuminated when they are not seen as victims anymore. So that the healing and the awareness can be brought forward, and the change at which they agreed to give up their lives to help create. So begin by seeing our starlight, our light go out to illuminate, to create this sacred circle. And then begin to see them come one by one in their healed, whole state, shining their light and making their transition. Holding them in love, in honor, in beauty, in their power, in their strength, in their childlike, in their wisdom. And feel how their energy starts to feel lighter. I can see them playfully dancing and moving out. Not held in any specific way, but free to be the orbs of light that they are. And see anyone that has passed in your life recently that you know of that could use assistance in this way, and being honorably and so it is. And let us make our way now back to the same way we came, down the path that led to the beach, that led to your room. Feel yourself in your body. I release these petals for all of us, for our personal pieces. I release these for the collective. For any collective pieces that our shadow pieces are connected to. That shall ripple out and be released. And I put these in for all of us, for our gifts, for our dreams, for our new beginnings, for the awakenings, for the beauty, for the love. That we have awakened and unearthed tonight. And this one for the collective. For the collective dreams that have been unearthed tonight, that have been awakened. That as we shined our light and shared it, it rippled out and woke up this part of the matrix, the web of life. And let's pull our light card to see what we have done together as a collective unit. Warrior woman. Not exactly where I would have went with it, but it's warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? You're here for a reason. You're being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not a fluffy and smooth sailing. It's not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts. And the more resistance we have toward answering God's call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I'm not afraid, I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you are feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand, rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then, as uncomfortable as it might feel, it's actually a sign that you're on the right track. So that's an interesting little card, eh? So I'll close directions now so that we can close this out and I can stop recording and then we can all talk and see where we're all at, but this way. What will be on the recording shall be done. Oh. Drumstick isn't going to rattle, is it? It's a little altered.
Fluff, 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 fluff.
If it would have made a noise, I'd have really freaked out.
That would have been.
To the winds of the south, the such a mama great serpent. Come and wrap your coil of light around us. Help us shed our past the way you shed your skin. Help us to stay out of that place of suffering and step into that place of impeccability. Thank you for teaching us how to lie belly to belly with a mother. Oh, thank you so much for all healing that has occurred tonight on the physical level. Oh. To the winds of the west, Dr. Ongo, Mother Jaguar, thank you for coming and protecting our medicine space. Thank you for teaching us how to go over that rainbow bridge, how to have one foot in this world and one foot in the next, how to live fearlessly. Thank you for teaching us how to be peaceful, luminous warriors so that we can learn how to walk on this planet, yet not leave a footprint. And thank you for any healing that has occurred on the emotional level. Oh. The winds of the north, the city Kinsey, great hummingbird, grandmothers and grandpas and angel ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this place of mythic and of magic and of imagery. Thank you for this place of stillness and flight. Thank you for this place of teaching us how to be the eye in the center of the storm. Thank you for giving us a mythic map tonight. A mythic map to follow so that we can step into that place of our soul's calling. Oh. The winds of the east, great eagle, condor, aquachine, you will fly windowing with great spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking us to the mountains that we only dared to dream of. Thank you for teaching us how to fly wingtip to wingtip with a great mystery. And thank you for teaching us how to see with eagle vision. Continue to help us see all the limitless possibilities so that we can step out of that place of being fated and step into that place of our destiny. Oh. Pachamama, great mother. Thank you for coming here for the healing of all your children, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy, the cry, the fin, the fur, and the winged. Thank you. Thank you for being that true alchemist and taking that song of stars, bringing it back to us in the gifts of gold. More importantly, thank you for that place of fire, that place of igniting us, of waking us up, of letting us know that we are held, that we are loved, that we are grounded, and we're fearless. Oh. Mama, King, Star Nation's great spirit, you are known by 1,000 names and you are unnameable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for whispering our heart, whispering our ears and touching our heart. Thank you for expanding us. Thank you for giving us this beautiful journey. Thank you for these gifts that we received tonight. Help us to continue to work with them. Help us to continue to nurture them. Help us to continue to look at those shadows, see those judgments, and see those shadows that live within us. So that we no longer lay in judgment of ourselves or others. That we learn how to love those parts of ourselves that we deem unlovable, we deem unforgivable, we've cast away, so that we can bring ourselves back into wholeness and of beauty and of strength. So thank you, everyone, and I hope this ceremony brings for you what it has brought for us. Good night.